Greetings, friends! Our entire lives, whether we like it or not, unfold surrounded by brands, clothing, food, cosmetics. Many sociologists believe that today, brands have become objects of true worship, their value shaped by the emotions they evoke in us. That's why a certain hierarchy has emerged, filled with loud and recognizable names. As you probably guessed from the thumbnail of this video, one such brand is the world-famous car manufacturer Bugatti, whose creations have inspired awe among automotive enthusiasts for many years. This French company specializes in producing high-performance supercars, with each model being exclusive and designed solely for the elite and wealthiest individuals on the planet. Bugatti's hypercars always hold a special place at auto shows and exhibitions, and new releases are often sold out long before their official premiere. Interestingly, to this day, no other company in the world has managed to replicate Bugatti's success, and I think you'll be just as intrigued as I am to learn how it all began. So make yourself comfortable because that's exactly what I'll be talking about today. It all started nearly 100 years ago, in the distant year of 1909. That was when a talented Italian engineer named Ettore Bugatti founded the company that bears his name. This milestone was preceded by the assembly of the first Bugatti car, the Bugatti Type 10, which the creator himself raced and even won with, but more on that later. The full name of the sports car pioneer was Ettore Arco Isidoro Bugatti. He was born in Milan in 1881, into the family of Italian Art Nouveau jeweler Carlo Bugatti and Teresa Lorioli. Ettore spent his entire childhood in Milan with his older brother Rembrandt. There, he finished school and enrolled in the Academy of Fine Arts, where he studied sculpture alongside his brother. Incidentally, Rembrandt devoted himself entirely to art after graduation and became a fairly well-known sculptor in Italy by the age of 20. Ettore, however, spent a long time searching for his calling. Everything changed in 1900, when he unexpectedly, even for his own family, presented a self-designed automobile at one of Milan's exhibitions. Naturally, you might ask, how was that even possible? And you'd be right to wonder. But truth be told, few could offer a clear answer. The fact remains, a 19-year-old young man had both the resources and the drive to build his first car. Rumor has it that Ettore was inspired by the earliest examples of automobilischer, as they were called back then, self-propelled carriages. He first saw something like that on the streets of Milan and couldn't get it out of his head. He was captivated by the work of prominent engineers of the time and, secretly from his parents, began assembling a car in one of the family's garages. Biographers claim he kept it hidden because his mother and father disapproved of such a hobby. His father was a renowned master jeweler, his older brother became a sculptor, and the youngest was drawn to crude and clunky machines. Back then, no one realized that the future belonged to automobiles, and many garage enthusiasts who would later become famous engineers were simply mocked. In many ways, something similar happened to our protagonist. Of course, his first car was far from perfect, but despite its flaws, Ettore managed to capture the interest of several investors with his ambitious ideas, which he, still very young, was eager to bring to life as soon as possible. Among those who believed in him was Count Guglielmi, whose financial support enabled the young engineer to begin working on a new breakthrough. Interestingly, despite its imperfections, Ettore's first car was awarded a gold medal. Within just 2 years, thanks to the Count's careful funding, another model was created, one that also received an award at the Milan exhibition. It was this car that earned Ettore a reputation as a promising designer, and soon various companies began collaborating with him, including De Dietrich. Thus, by the age of 23, in 1904, Ettore Bugatti took on the role of technical director at the company. The project opened up new horizons for him. He wasn't just designing cars, she was also participating in real races. It's important to note that in the early 20th century, automobile manufacturing was still in its infancy, and nearly any craftsman could build a car in their garage. Often, it didn't require exceptional talent, just a solid understanding of the basic components and how they worked. From a technical standpoint, Ettore carefully studied his competitors and adopted their best solutions, always leaving room for creativity and innovation. Perhaps that's why his cars appealed to wealthy individuals of the time. Up until 1907, Ettore Bugatti worked at several automotive firms before ending up at Gasmotoren Fabrik Deutz, a company that produced internal combustion engines. Yet no one suspected that, at night, in his garage, he was quietly crafting history step by step. For an entire year, he worked on his creation just as his brother worked on his sculptures. That's when the first true Bugatti car emerged, the Type 10, named after its creator. This masterpiece was equipped with a 4-cylinder engine with a displacement of 1,131 cubic centimeters, and its chassis would later be recognized as one of the most successful designs of its time. Though the car's construction was still far from ideal, the most important thing was that Ettore had a brilliant mind. What he lacked were the financial resources to realize his full vision. Only thanks to his impeccable reputation and the name he had earned, Bugatti was he able to attract sponsors. And it was from that moment, in 1909, when he first met with potential investors and presented his plans, that the official history of the Bugatti brand began. With the help of sponsor investments and his own savings, Ettore opened a small production facility in the town of Molsheim, near Strasbourg. It was here that cars with the iconic horseshoe-shaped radiator began to conquer the European market. The first models were the Type 13, Type 15, and Type 17. Visually, the cars were nearly identical, but they differed in wheelbase length 2,000, 2,400, and 2,550 millimeters respectively. The engine remained a 4-cylinder, but its displacement was now increased to 1,327 cubic centimeters. These models were soon showcased to the public at the Paris exhibition, where they proved to be quite successful. In 1913, the Bugatti lineup expanded with the introduction of the Type 22 and Type 23 models. Ettore remained passionate about racing, and in 1914, he developed the Type 16 and Type 18 for commercial release. These cars differed from earlier models by featuring 5-liter engines and a more sporty design. Only about 12 units were sold, and the first buyer was none other than aviation veteran and Ettore's friend, Roland Garros. Yes, friends, that very same famous French aviator and military pilot who participated in World War I. Later, a sports complex would be named after him, the venue that still hosts the French Open Tennis Championship to this day. The final racing model, the Type 18, even competed in the Indianapolis 500 in 1914 and 1,915. Overall, things were going well, but the sudden outbreak of war forced investors to reconsider their business strategies. Few were willing to invest in new automobiles. Eventually, Ettore had to sell the patent for car production to Peugeot. After the war, he relocated to France, the victorious nation that became his new homeland. It was in France that all of Bugatti's most iconic models were created, but more on that later. Soon, a decision was made to rename the earlier Bugatti models, the Type 13, Type 22, and Type 23, under the new name Brescia Bugatti. Returning to production, Ettore set himself a bold goal: to create a supercar unlike any other. And so, after more than 2 years of development, in 1921, the company unveiled a completely new car at auto shows in Paris and London, the Type 28, equipped with an 8-cylinder engine, 3-liter displacement, and 90 horsepower. Only 5 units were produced, and its successor, the Type 29, saw just 2 units built. Yet despite their success, the company's undisputed masterpiece of that era was the Type 32 tank, presented in 4 different modifications and designed exclusively for Grand Prix racing. Although the Bugatti brand didn't dominate the automotive market, it operated steadily and remained independent. Ettore firmly believed that a car should have a soul, and even if he sold fewer cars than Ford, he would never be ashamed of them. Bugatti vehicles were produced in small batches, assembled by hand, without assembly lines. Each car was like a sculpture, beautiful, reliable, powerful, and of exceptional quality. Until 1924, Ettore's main goal to create a true supercar remained elusive. He struggled to build a car capable of winning races, but he never gave up. And thanks to his persistence, everything changed in that same year. His model, the Bugatti Type 35, didn't just take the lead in the second stage of the European Grand Prix, it earned the company 4 first-place finishes. Naturally, Ettore was thrilled. The Type 35 became a legend in the world of motorsport and was launched into mass production, gaining immense popularity among racers and bringing Bugatti its first major financial success. From 1,924 to 1,930, Bugatti sold a total of 336 cars. The Type 35 model brought the brand around 1,800 victories in various competitions and remained the best until the arrival of the legendary German Silver Arrow. Thus, Ettore Bugatti's dream came true. His cars became the best of the best. It is widely believed that this marked the company's true golden era, as for 5 consecutive years, models bearing the Type 35 designation, including the 35A, 35V, 35S, and 35T dominated nearly every race. In the late 1920s, the lineup expanded with a new luxury vehicle, the Type 41 La Royale, designed exclusively for heads of state and instantly becoming one of the most prestigious and expensive cars of its time. The car's design was elegant, its interior crafted from natural wood and tapestry, with a length of 4.5 meters and a power output of 260 horsepower. Its total weight exceeded 3 tons. Initially, 25 units were planned, but only 6 were ever built. Unsurprisingly, all of them were owned by extremely wealthy millionaires. Each car was equipped with a custom-designed engine, but since most of them went unused, they were later installed in ordinary locomotives. Just imagine these engines could have become part of automotive luxury history, but instead ended up powering trains. And then came the financial crisis. The company found itself on the brink of bankruptcy and had to be rescued. To do so, Bugatti developed the Type 44, produced in large numbers and priced affordably for the general public. Another model, the Type 46 Petit Royale, was introduced as a more compact version of the Type 41 La Royale. The early 1930s saw the release of new models such as the Type 43 and Type 50, which differed in power and appearance. Notably, the Type 50B was built exclusively for racing, aiming to restore the brand's former glory. And indeed, it brought Bugatti several victories until the arrival of the first German automobiles on the market. In 1931, Ettore personally designed his first electric car, the Type 52 Baby, created for his younger son, Roland. But the car was so popular among Roland's friends that it quickly gained a fan base and entered mass production. Around the same time, Bugatti launched the Type 54, equipped with an 8-cylinder engine. This car not only won races but also set a new speed record over 210 kilometers per hour. Behind the wheel, interestingly, was Russian racer Tchaikovsky. One of Bugatti's first convertibles, the Type 57, also deserves mention. It was released in several modifications, and in 1939, the most powerful version appeared, the Type 57S 45, which tragically claimed the life of Jean Bugatti. After winning at Le Mans, Jean swerved off the track to avoid hitting a cyclist and was killed. It's easy to guess that during the new war, car production came to a halt, and after the war ended, the company faced serious challenges. The world had changed. Post-war Europe had no room for luxury automobiles. Bugatti suffered losses but did not go bankrupt, thanks to its reputation and the resources it had accumulated over the years. Then, in 1947, the company was struck by another blow, the death of its founder and visionary, Ettore Bugatti. With his passing, an entire era came to an end, for he was the man on whose shoulders the entire company had stood. Special attention should be given to the final car personally crafted by Ettore Bugatti, the Type 73. Its assembly was completed just 2 weeks before the designer's death, and the car premiered at the Paris Auto Show in 1947. The model featured 2 different engines, the Type 43S and Type 43A, and marked the last successful milestone in Bugatti's history. After Ettore's passing, the company began to decline. By the 1960s, only 6 new models had been added to the lineup, none of which gained widespread popularity. And perhaps the Bugatti brand would have vanished forever had Ettore's younger son and his brother Roland not decided to revive the company. In 1959, they presented a joint project, the Type 451 V12, equipped with a super powerful engine comparable to the best models from Ferrari. However, the car required significant investment and technical refinement, and the company lacked the necessary resources. A difficult decision was made. Bugatti was sold to the Hispano-Suiza Corporation, which, immediately after the deal, shut down all automotive projects, effectively ending the legacy of the Italian-French family business founded by Ettore Bugatti. For a long time, the brand remained in obscurity until the 110th anniversary of Ettore's birth, when the Bugatti EB 110 was released. The car left a lasting impression, as it claimed the title of the world's fastest car. Its engine delivered 553 horsepower, the interior was trimmed in gray leather with walnut inlays, and the dashboard featured a clock, air conditioner, and cassette player. Access to the cabin was through spacious arched doors, and the steering wheel resembled an airliner's yoke. To emphasize elegance, the car included numerous hand-carved details, while its total weight exceeded 1.5 tons. The racing version of this model participated in the 1,994 24 hours of Le Mans, though it didn't reach the podium. Overall, the Bugatti brand experienced 2 revival phases. In 1989, It was acquired by Italian entrepreneur Romano Artioli. He assembled a team of top Italian engineers to create the fastest sports car of its time. He succeeded, but production of the EB110 was short-lived. By 1995, the company couldn't sustain the scale of the project and declared bankruptcy. True success came only after Volkswagen Group took control of Bugatti in 1998. Initially, many doubted that the maker of the humble Golf could appreciate Bugatti's potential and restore its former glory. However, the first results were promising. The EB118 Coupe and EB218 sedan concepts continued the legacy of the EB112. After being showcased at several auto shows, the project was shelved, and Bugatti shifted focus to creating the ultimate hypercar, the Veyron. Next came the EB18 Thirds Chiron and EB18 Quarters Veyron sports cars. The Chiron's design was handled by Idle Design, while the Veyron was fully developed in Wolfsburg under the leadership of Hartmut Warkus. It was this project that evolved into the production Veyron. In 2005, after its debut at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, the Bugatti Veyron went on sale for $1.7 million. The supercar justified its price, featuring cutting-edge engineering, a top speed of 408 km per h, and 0 to 100 km per h acceleration in just 2.5 seconds. In 2008, the Grand Sport version was introduced, the fastest production roadster in history. Only 150 units of this car were sold, each at a staggering price of $2.1 million. The Veyron held its position until 2016, when it was succeeded by a next-generation ultimate hypercar, the Bugatti Chiron. Unveiled at the 2016 Geneva Motor Show, the Chiron became the fastest, 420 km per h, most powerful, 1,500 horsepower, and most expensive, $2.5 million production car on the market. It featured an upgraded 8-liter W16 engine with 4 two-stage turbochargers, a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, and all-wheel drive. And surely, many are curious, what about the logo? The Bugatti logo is an oval-shaped, 3-color emblem surrounded by 60 red dots, symbolizing either pearls or safety cables, embedded in a thin white border. The word Bugatti, in white letters with black shadowing, is placed on a red background at the center. Above it sits the elegant EB monogram, the initials of the legendary Ettore Bugatti. It's believed that the logo was designed by Ettore's father, a talented jeweler and artist. Bugatti cars didn't use gaskets, so the safety cables resembled lace-like patterns, hence the red dot. Another version suggests that Ettore's older brother viewed cars as works of art, and the dots symbolize a connection to jewelry craftsmanship. The logo's primary color, red, represents power, passion, and driving pleasure. White stands for elegance and nobility, while black symbolizes perfection and boldness. Today, the Bugatti brand is synonymous with luxury and wealth, and rightly so. Each car is truly magnificent and worthy of admiration. Just consider a few fascinating facts about the Bugatti Veyron. For example, its brakes are made by the same company that supplies braking systems for Airbus airliners. Bugatti has its own automated rear wing, controlled by a speed sensor, helping the car stay grounded because it accelerates faster than a jet. Its design was developed in collaboration with aerospace engineers, as we're talking about truly cosmic speeds. As for the engine, its actual output is 3,000 horsepower, though 2/3 of the energy is lost as heat. During the first engine test, so much heat was generated that the building nearly caught fire enough to heat 100 homes in winter. And during early testing, when the first Veyron exceeded 300 km per h, 2-meter flames shot from the exhaust. Engineers even considered keeping the effect, but it was illegal, so they developed a unique cooling system. Just imagine, this beast accelerates to 100 km per h in just 2.5 seconds, and to 300 km per h in 17 seconds. Gear shifts occur without any power loss, taking just 150 milliseconds faster than a human blink. The gearbox controller alone is more powerful than 4 computers. Even at 407 km per h, the Veyron can come to a complete stop in just 10 seconds. No one had ever built anything like it, and perhaps no one ever will. Bugatti had to develop new tires because no manufacturer produced rubber capable of withstanding speeds over 400 km per h. In fact, this car can outrun an airplane. To support such speeds, the fuel tank holds 100 liters because Bugatti loves to eat. Its urban fuel consumption is 47.2 liters per 100 kilometers. And if you didn't know, every Bugatti is still assembled by hand. You could say with love and reverence. Few understand how hard it is to preserve what took years to build, and not everyone realizes what it takes to maintain the level that took decades to reach. Bugatti's history has seen ups and downs, sometimes lasting for decades. But despite everything, Bugatti endured and continues its legacy even without its founding genius, Ettore Bugatti. And while only a few can afford such a car, it was thanks to him that a self-taught enthusiast forever etched his name into history. Well, that's everything I wanted to share with you about Bugatti cars. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, just give it a like and leave a comment. See you soon and take care.